3 shots, 4 par, I just do 2. 1 putt, par 4, birdie, woohoo. New driver, info, replace, M2, par 5, fairway, what you fin do? Think I'll try to get on into, start right, good line, good view, it drew, shooter McGavin, 2 thumbs that's up high and 2 fingers.
All right, On the Screws podcast, presented by Wave Golf, wavegolfcompany.com. Bryce and Aaron wear the hats. You guys should do it as well. You guys see Lucas, our friends Lucas, Mac, Boucher, both repping the hats. Go over, check it out. Bryce, we got to talk. We got to talk a little bit about, I don't know, man, this Super League, this Super Golf League that's going on. We have an unreal chat with Callum Davison coming up. We're just going to kind of skim over a couple things here. So I'll drop a timestamp below if you're interested in just, or if you're here just for the Callum chat, that'll be down there. Just go down, hit the link or hit the timestamp and we'll get into it. But yeah, we had to hop on here quick. Like, what is going on right now with like reports of like Bryson being offered $135 million. It came out today that Stenson and Poulter, I think, both said $30 million. Like, this is insane. We're like, you know, how is this not a no-brainer?
Yeah, the only thing that I could think of is going to live out there full time. But other than that, I think guys are nuts for not going. I mean, they offered Bryson $150 million.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like,
it's crazy.
Why would you? I would, like we were talking about earlier, I'd take that and fly straight there. I'd be there in a day. Yeah,
just for context, so Tiger Woods made $121 million in his career. So obviously that's a little ways back, and you know, Bryson, all projections would say he'd probably make somewhere between a third or half of that in his career. Like you win a FedEx and it really jumps you up, right? Especially now, $15 million purse and stuff. But like, I don't know, man. How do you not take that guaranteed money and run for it? Like, it's pretty interesting, some of the comments that Phil's making, like pretty much that the PGA Tour owns their content. I had a chat with a buddy of mine the other day about how, you know, they fully, like, I don't know, they just close off all doors to them being able to reuse any of their content. But the Saudi League, we got to talk about HV3. One of my guys, man. I love HV3. Picking up his second. I know he's won on the Asian Tour, but back in 2016, I know he won the Australian PGA Championship. Has not won on the PGA Tour yet, and the third player. This tournament's been around 3 years. Third player to win. DJ's got 2. Graham McDowell's got the other one, which is pretty insane, man. $1 million. That's a big payday. That's all right.
Yeah, for sure. And it wasn't a walk in the park. I mean, there were some pretty big names in this field. I mean, it wasn't an easy win for him, that's for sure. So he must have played really well. I didn't get to watch it at all, but
no. Well, he he beat Bubba, right? Like Bubba was going into 18 with 1 stroke lead, and you know, if you've been on social media, you've checked it out. You know, we talk about it. We've had some caddies on in the past. We talk about that partnership, and you know, it was just like such a nice putt. Like everything about that course was like so clean, right? So everything was like maintained well. You know, kind of like our friends over at Manscaped. 20% off manscaped.com. Go over, use the code OTS Golf at checkout. 20% off plus free shipping. You'll look just as good as the course did over there, but and you'll roll putts in like Harold Varner III, rolling them in from 92 feet. Disclaimer: I don't know if that'll actually happen or not, but you can do your best.
I might have to go grab my my lawnmower to help me out on the greens.
So it was crazy though, right? So, you know, we talked about partnership. We've had Billy Spencer on in the past. You know, caddy for Sung Jae, and kind of talking about ultimately it's the player's choice, and that's what HV3 said. Like, it was his choice to putt it. He felt more confident in that. It was like, obviously the course is mint, right? So I think it was obviously the right choice, and rolled it in. And one of the coolest things was, like, you see him run over and he jumps on his caddy. Huge celebration.
Priceless,
yeah, it was awesome, man. What they didn't get to show, because things kind of panned out, was like how excited Bubba was, right? Bubba just lost. I don't want to say Bubba lost $1 million. Like, Bubba's doing okay. But they're good buddies, right? Like, they're good friends. Bubba's got a couple green jackets. Like, to see one of your good buddies kind of come through and win a big tournament like that. Because, like, it's sort of that tournament that is not on tour. It's not on the European tour, but it kind of stands out as one of those it's kind of getting a bit of credibility. It's only 4 years in.
Yeah.
Like I said, Graham McDowell's won one, DJ's won the other 2, and now HV3, right? So pretty awesome, man. But
It's just one of those good feel good moments for them, though. Just to see, it kind of warms your heart a little, just to see that these guys do care about each other, even though they're battling every day in and out. But they're all friends for the most part, and you
Yeah.
like to see them supporting each other like that. But like you were saying, Bubba, I don't think he's hurting. I mean, the purse was insane for this. He still made 525,000 off that coming in second. So
yeah.
he's doing all right.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, you lose 470. Well, I don't want to say you lose 475 because I think everybody's expecting them to go into playoff. Or that's 3-putt. That's 4-putt territory for me.
Yeah,
that's at least 4-putt territory for most people. But yeah, pretty unreal. Pretty unreal. You want to add anything, Bryce? We got to get in this episode with or this chat with Callum because it was pretty cool. PGA Tour Canada Player of the Year, cross-handed golfer, left-hand grip, right-hand swing. Pretty cool, man. We got kind of chatting about a little bit of everything. So if you're okay with it, just want to do a quick shout out to our patrons, Brian, Matt, and Carly. Thank you for supporting us over on our Patreon site. You can catch that in our link in our bio over at OTS Golf on Instagram. But yeah, let's get into it. Here's our chat with Callum Davison, PGA Tour Canada Player of the Year. Callum Davison, PGA Tour Canada Player of the Year. Callum, how are you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, guys. I'm doing great. Yeah.
Really appreciate you coming on. We chatted a little bit of hockey now and stuff just in the background there. So we got all that stuff away. We might as well talk about some golf now, right? But Bryce is here with us. Bryce, how's things?
Good. Yeah, keep me up tonight with the time change. I go to work tomorrow, but we'll get through it.
Yeah, so Callum's a little bit of a different time zone than us, so it's nice that we can catch you this late. And let's just hop into it, Callum. Maybe you can let anybody listening, any of our viewers, know who you are. Kind of, even if you start with what got in the game, and then as we go through the chat, we can kind of just catch up to where we are now.
Okay. Yeah. So from Vancouver, originally was born there. I live on Vancouver Island. Been playing since I was like 3 or 4. Picked up the club cross-handed, and just ever since kind of played that way. It was always pretty good. I won provincials for Bantam provincials when I was 12 for 14 under, and that kind of ensured me that, oh, okay, maybe I can actually do this, and play cross-handed, of course. So, and then I got my first golf coach when I was 14, and a couple of years later tried to change me, and just I wasn't having it. So I had to change. I had to jump ship and change to another golf coach. And since then, I think I've been with him for the last 6 years, and he's been great. So yeah, Chris Walkie, he's been awesome.
That's awesome. I was just when we were kind of chatting there, we got the time set up, and I was looking through the bio on your page there, and picking up a plastic club when you were 3, playing cross-handed, and then kind of staying ever since. I love it, and obviously, like I said off the hop there, you won the PGA Tour Canada Order of Merit this year, which is pretty amazing. I can confidently say that's probably never been done before with a cross-handed player. So just anybody who's maybe listening in their car, not over on the YouTube channel, not that we can really show it over on YouTube, but so you are a right-handed player, left-hand grip, correct?
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, left-hand grip on a right-handed club, basically. Okay. Interlock, so same thing, but my hands are backwards.
Okay, so Bryce is a righty, I'm a lefty. We might have to we gotta get a match, right?
Yeah, just somewhere in between then.
yeah. So
us two versus him, righty lefty combo versus the righty lefty golfer.
Yeah. I think we're gonna need a little bit of couple of strokes as well. But
yeah, we'll get nine aside.
Yeah, something like that. You'll have to give us a few, but that's cool because I know we haven't picked a date when this one's gonna go out because I know we grabbed you at kind of a quick time in between playing some of your rounds and some of your practice, so we'll get this up, but in a couple of weeks, which will be middle of February, I'm going out to Vancouver Island. Be my first time out there, so if you've got any spots for me to check out, I definitely I'll take any of them. I'm gonna be playing at Bear Mountain quite a bit, and I think Highland Pacific, is that another one out there?
Highland Pacific, yeah. The only other one, Cordova Bay, is really good in the winter.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
And if you can get out to Victoria Golf Club, I mean, that's always
I'm starting to beg some people and whatnot, and see if I can find a way.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it's kind of I've heard it's the Pebble Beach of Canada, right? So, sorry, Bryce, go ahead, man. If I'm cutting you off, go ahead.
No, you're good. We were just talking earlier how you're in Palm Springs right now. That's correct.
Yeah.
So is this kind of your off season?
Yes. So from between, our season ended, I think it was the first week of October. I usually take the end of October. So, I mean, I took three weeks off, and then started November. I came down to Palm Springs, and I spend my off season. I have a trainer, coach here. My brother lives here full time. So luckily I have a place to stay. So that's been great. Yeah, I'm a member at the Palms Golf Club in La Quinta. Yeah, they have everything I need, great facilities and good golf course. So
like we mentioned off the hop, you won the PGA Tour Canada Player of the Year. So we had actually Scott Pritchard on a couple weeks ago. So he in length he kind of explained the process of. It was a bit of a different year with the Forum Tour, PGA Tour Canada, and your qualifications. So you get your PGA Tour Canada card for the full season, correct?
Yeah. So I have every single event. Don't have to worry about the shuffle or qualifying or anything like that. So right, it's nice to just have a full schedule ahead. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. So if anybody, if you're listening right now and you kind of want to hear an in-depth explanation of how the Q school goes, which Callum will not have to go through. Go back a couple weeks, listen to Scott Pritchard's interview, because it was pretty cool. And just kind of seeing how some players kind of navigate that all together. And I feel like you being able to, I don't want to say bypass that, but obviously you're going to be doing a lot of practicing and stuff. It's got to be a big convenience for you to, to be able to just kind of roll into the season. And do you do anything kind of get your feet wet, Callum, before you hop in? Like, are you playing any events down there right now, mini tours or anything?
So I haven't played since the last event on the Mackenzie Tour and any like official tournament or anything. But I leave tomorrow to Scottsdale, and I'm going to be playing in pre-qual for the waste management, which I usually do every year. I usually do the San Diego one, so I kind of just hit the West Coast swing, the ones that I can play. Fortunately, I was in Hawaii. Well, not unfortunately, I was in Hawaii. So I was enjoying my time there. But so I missed the San Diego one and a couple others. But yeah, I'll try for this. And then I play in a couple mini tour events just locally, either usually in Arizona or LA area. So yeah, I'll play in a couple in there.
Bryce and I are just buried. Well, I don't know about Bryce, but I'm buried under like 16 inches of snow up here where I am. I'm only like, so to give you a good, I guess, demographic, I'm like, I don't know, an hour east of TPC, Osprey Valley. So, yeah, that's hearing somebody say, unfortunately, I was in Hawaii right now is, that's pretty funny to hear. But, yeah, it's, everything's going okay though. It's been, practice is kind of where you want it to be. Everything's doing okay.
Everything's been pretty good. I feel like I hit a couple things that I need to figure out after last season. Last season was a good season, or ended very well. But I struggled earlier on the Forum Tour, as you were talking about before, Forum and Mackenzie. So last year was a very weird season for me. I felt off the tee. Driver 3-wood was very shaky, and that kind of basically decided how the week was going to go.
Right.
And so I was at a 47-inch driver at the start of the year. So like an inch and a half over length. And now the cutoff is 46 inches. So now I'm at 46 inches. But I did go to 46 inches midsummer of last year. And kind of, that's actually when I started playing good golf on the Mackenzie Tour there, and kind of tidied some things up. So yeah, 3-wood and driver feels a lot better. Those were the kind of the keys looking for.
Were you struggling with the 47, kind of keeping it in play, or no?
Yeah, so it was great. Like, I don't know, 3 months in, I tinkered with it a bunch. Yeah, I was hitting it pretty good, and then I started getting to like our first event on the Forum Tour was in I think it was Georgia, and it was pine tree lined and whatnot, and it was kind of tight, and there's some holes where you had to step up and hit it, like you didn't really have a choice. And I never, in Palm Springs desert golf, it's pretty wide open, and
you can get away with those misses.
You can get away with it, a 30-yard miss. It's not going to kill you usually. So yeah.
Now, sorry, Bryce.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, because I wanted to go back to the 2021 season. So go ahead, Bryce.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly touch on the reason I asked that was because I was playing a 46-inch driver, and actually went all the way down to 44, which was a big difference. But I don't miss a fairway now, and I literally couldn't keep a ball on the face of the earth when I was hitting that long of a driver. That's just the only reason I was asking. I just wanted to see if you related to that too.
I still have a 46-inch driver in the bag. I don't find that too, because it's only like half an inch over. I mean, what TaylorMade, their stock driver is like 45 and a half or whatever. So, yeah.
Now, one of the things
you'd also beat me by 30. So.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, Callum, because one of the things that we had Ryan Hawley, so he is from the Get Right Golf Training Center. So I'm not sure if you know him. He's out that way. He's out your way, like out west, Western Canada anyway. So he is one of the only I guess clinic spots that have the swing catalyst, like the pressure mapping, right? So I asked him. He had seen you at an event. I think he came up and said he had introduced himself, but you guys didn't have a chance to really connect. But I asked him, like, how, with you being cross-handed, would that sort of translate? Now, do you notice anything? Like, do you look at your stats? Do you kind of go into, like, look at your pressure mapping and stuff like that? Does it kind of ball speed, all that kind of stuff? Like you're talking about length off the tee, trying to like straighten things out. How do you sort of navigate that? Like, it must be like a little bit different being cross-handed, right?
Yes and no. I mean, you got to get your, face square at impact at the end of the day.
Right.
So yeah, it's a slightly different. I have my tendencies because I'm cross-handed, the other hand's on the other side. So I kind of get stuck is kind of my tendency and lose it out to the right on the downswing. But yeah, no, I'm very field player. I mean, I kind of have to be. I'm cross-handed.
Yeah.
So I'm not very technical. I don't go into the pressure mat. Like I've been on the pressure mat and everything, and the guy's like, "Oh, you do a great job with your lower body and your pressure and shift and whatnot." And so I haven't really had to. I don't really go into fine detail. Me and my coach keep it pretty simple. Yeah, but there's just certain little things here and there. Like right now, I'm working on. If you look at videos, I'm not working on it, but we're slowly trying to trend to get away with it from it because my timing. I have a slight pause. I don't know, a quarter of the way back. Well, hopefully by next summer, it shouldn't be there. It might be there a little bit, but not as exaggerated as it is. So.
I noticed that it was almost like a little like initial pump kind of, right? Like I was looking at I can't remember what course you were at, but it was a par 3, obviously beautiful view, and you had like you kind of took it back a little bit, and it was almost like a little bit of a pump, and then you started from there. But the one thing I noticed, and I am by no means a swing expert, but I am infatuated with golf, watch way too much golf, is like you've got a very efficient move. Like it's shallows out like really well, and like it's fast, like it's very fast, and I don't know how to comprehend how you do what you do, and I know I'm not the only person, so but
yeah, so that pump came from me doing a drill and it just got stuck, like it I ingrained it in on the range and it just stayed. I didn't have that like 3 years ago, but yeah.
Was it Hovland? Bryce, you might know. I think you and I talked about who did it at the top. Who did it up top?
Well, Hideki has it obviously, but Hovland
used a pause.
Yeah, Hovland had like a pump.
Slightly has like a hitch. Yeah.
No, but he actually worked a pump in up top, which was we're off topic here, but it was like the strangest thing. He got up top and like rocked a little bit. It's I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I did want to go back to 2021, Callum. Obviously, what an incredible season, couple wins. Won the Brudenell. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Brudenell out in PI and BC, right? You won BC?
Yeah, the one in Kelowna there.
Right, okay.
The BC championship or something. Yeah.
So I was kind of watching the interview at the end, and obviously it's an emotional interview for you. Like you had just found out that you were going to be playing a pretty serious event this year. So we can get into that a little bit after. But yeah, you said it was a bit of a roller coaster year. So do you attest that to just kind of like what you meant with the 3-wooden driver? Like, was it just based on like struggles with the club or like, I know you mentioned you and your dad were kind of doing the trek in the RV and stuff. Like I've heard from quite a few guys that the life it's a grind, right? So
it is. Yeah.
Just golf related, everything okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like you were able to work it out?
Yeah, so I started the season like on a high. I won Forum Tour Q School over in Seattle, and then kind of just continued driving across the country. But my driver was terrible in that. But the home course is wide open, so you can do that. So all the guys that are playing in that, you don't have to hit it straight there at all. But so that was an issue. I kind of felt like it was a bit of an issue, but the rest of my game was pretty good, which was nice. So I kind of just had to figure out one thing, and I couldn't figure it out for the longest time. And then I had back issues, had to withdraw from the second event on the Forum Tour, missed a bunch of cuts. And then actually my last event I played on the Forum Tour, that was like a big week for me because I went to a shorter driver, different driver, and it felt a lot better. And my game kind of clicked. I just didn't make any putts. And then I went up to PEI, and I had a positive attitude because basically to me the season restarted. Those events, I'm on a different tour now. Those events don't matter anymore. Kind of had to try to think that way at least. And I had a positive week the first week. I was in contention. I think I was tied for the lead after, I don't know, like the 6th hole in the final round. And then I ended up 4-putting from, 20 feet. So that was pretty devastating. But then I jumped back the next week and I knew I was hitting it good, and I knew my game was able to get a win if I could put everything together. So, and I did that. So
nice at Brunel, right? And then obviously you had a couple like pretty nice starts, and then like we mentioned the win out in BC. How do you roll it, Callum? Like, do you roll it with the cross hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cross-handed. Everything's cross-handed.
So that's a bit more normal. Like, I know, Bryce, you've kind of experimented with every putting grip possible. So
and every putter.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you. I just had a thought here, Callum. So before we move on, number 16, waste management. If you're kind of up on that tee block, you're cross-handed player, and it's kind of obviously like the most electric hole in golf, right? So how do you, like, have you encountered anything like that? Like I was out, luckily I was able to caddy this year at the PGA Tour Osprey Valley event, which was really cool. So how do you, as a professional athlete, how do you go ahead, do you block that kind of stuff out? Like, you must hear it from a lot of people, like, oh, that guy's like, swings.
I think over the years, like, I mean, I turned professional in 2018. I went over to Europe and played over there. And, but even before that, like junior golf, like, you'd always have people stop and watch, ask questions. I mean, every single round I play golf with guys, you get grouped with different guys, basically every event, I get questions about it. So I'm pretty used to it. I kind of just now just do my own thing. Not too really worried about what anyone really thinks. It's just how I get it around. So.
Well, you can't be too worried, right? Because it's working. I mean,
it works. It looks different, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you do it, right? So
yeah, people can say whatever they want. It doesn't matter.
You could, you could be traveling around making some pretty good cash off some of these guys in some of these cash games, whatnot, in some of these clubs. Just go up there on the range with the cross hand, just put a couple off the hosel, and then
Oh, exactly. You just shank a couple, and then you're just right into it.
Exactly. Love it.
Hey, buddy, I'll play you cross-handed today.
That'd be amazing.
I think it was great when I first came to Palm Springs because no one knew me at the club.
Oh yeah.
So I made a couple bucks, doing that, but. After a couple of weeks, it ended. So
they're like, I'm pretty sure at that point they're like, stop it or we're revoking your membership. Yeah, one or the other, right? So, love it. Can we hop into the upcoming season a little bit? Can we chat about it?
Yeah.
Maybe just you know what? Let me go back to that point. End of the final event, PGA Tour Canada, obviously Player of the Year, and you guys are going through it, and then they let you know you're playing in the Canadian Open. So like, I'm not a pro golfer. Bryce's not a pro golfer. I would love to be a pro golfer, but that would still be an absolute dream of mine, as I'm sure it is yours. Obviously pretty emotional interview, or you're kind of being told that. What was that moment like for you? Like, how do you digest something like that?
Tell me I got a PGA Tour start.
that's basically what I've been working for. So yeah, for him to be here and he's going to fly out and see it, it's kind of huge. It's a really cool little moment for us. So yeah.
And just know you're going to play in the RBC Canadian Open. Obviously, this is a big year for you, but to be able to play in that and have that opportunity, comment on that.
No, it's definitely cool. I can't wait for it. Definitely, it will make me work harder in this off season. Not that it wasn't going to be, but definitely super excited for the moment.
It was a special moment just because I was like in my hometown when it happened. Uplands is about 45 minutes from my house, so I had a lot of friends and family there, so that made it more emotional. And then I had my head professional over at Cowichan Golf Club, Norm Jackson, he's like the closest to family I have, and supported me through since I've been like 4 years old. And so that was his first time watching me in a golf tournament, like a serious tournament, I guess. And so yeah, I ended up, I don't know what I shot the last day, but I played pretty well in front of him, so I was pretty happy about that. And then just to have him there when I heard I was playing in the Canadian Open, and he's actually going to come with us and come to Toronto and join me. So
nice.
Yeah, so that made it really emotional. Yes, it's my first PGA Tour start, which is super cool, and hopefully there's going to be a lot to come. But that was kind of the thing that made it really emotional. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I don't know. Like Bryce has been able to play, like semi-professional hockey and stuff, and I've just, in that moment, it'd be I don't know, something that'll be with you for the rest of your life, right? Like that's pretty cool. You've worked so hard to kind of get to that level. So I know I definitely will be there. Like we were chatting kind of before, Billy Spencer, he's on the bag with Sung Jae. So we said that I'm hoping Bryce can make it up. We said that I think it's the third weekend in June. We're going to try and meet up with him, kind of catch up, and maybe try and do a pod while we're there or something. So I'll definitely come introduce myself if I see you. And
for sure.
I won't bother you if you're if you're in the grind and whatnot. But I'll find a time to come say hello. That's gonna be good. And I think it's gonna be a very, very electric event. People are like,
last year they didn't have it, right?
2 years. 2 years.
2 years, last 2 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, people are going to be excited about it. And it's in Toronto.
Is it at Hamilton again?
It's at St. George.
St. George.
Okay.
Yeah. So people are just dying to have that event, and I think it'll be just a really, really cool thing for Canadian golf, and we deserve it, man. It's been a long couple of years, right? So all right, so 2021 season coming up, Callum. We were just talking a little bit about the obviously getting that first PGA Tour start at the Canadian Open. So what else you got on deck for this year? Back on PGA Tour Canada this season.
Yeah. So play that schedule. We obviously they haven't announced the whole schedule. They just announced the event in Victoria. So yeah, have that, and then before those, I have only thing really that's like bigger for me is 2 Monday qualifiers for Corn Ferry Tour in Louisiana. They're back to back. I think they're in March. So that's kind of what I'm kind of gearing up for. Those are kind of the two bigger instead of mini tour events. And then after that, we'll see what else I can plan. But yeah.
Have you played any Corn Ferry Tour events yet?
No, I haven't played in any. I haven't really tried, really honestly. I've only tried for 1 or 2. So
we've chatted with a couple of guys now who've played Corn Ferry Tour events, and some of the qualifiers and stuff, and it's intense, man. Like you would know it. It's no different. It's the same competitive circuit as anywhere else that you're playing golf and you want to play your best. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see how those guys get around, and just how intense it can get, really, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's a grind. I mean, one of them, I think I shot like 7 under, didn't get in. You had to shoot like 9. It was a really easy golf course, but I mean, it's just like really you have to shoot 9 under par.
I heard that last week, like Luke List just won there last week over Will Zalatoris. So if we're putting this out in a couple weeks, just so everybody's aware of what event I'm talking about there, but it was 63 was the cutoff, 62 qualified, 63 did not. So like that's pretty low to get in, but it's all dependent on the course, how it's playing and stuff like that too, right? Exactly. So you never really know, and if it's you know, if it's playable, some of these guys can go pretty low, right? So, you want to take us through the bag, Bryce? What do you think? You want to chat some gear?
Yeah, I do. I'm always down to chat gear. I think
know.
everyone knows that by now. I think we were talking to you earlier, Callum. You said you weren't huge into it, but you know enough to kind of go through your bag and kind of let us know
For
what you're
sure.
playing.
Yeah. So start with the driver, TSI 4, so the smaller head, with a Ventus blue shaft in it. 46 inches, so a little longer. And then the 3-wood TSI 3, same Ventus blue shaft. And then I have a hybrid. I don't know what TSI. I think it's TSI 2, the hybrid. And same shaft.
And all three, eh? They're all
Pardon me?
same shafts and all the woods?
Yeah, same shaft and all the woods. And then I have a driving iron that switches in and out with the hybrid. Usually the driving iron's in. The hybrid's kind of a new thing for me. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of hybrids, but
Me
like
too,
it,
man.
so.
I struggle a little. I struggle a little bit with the hybrid. Like I've always been an iron player, so it's tough to work it. It's tough to work it in. It's sitting over in the spare bag right now, and I've got a few 3 irons that kind of rotate in and out of the bag as they do.
It was so sad in Kelowna when I won that event. I didn't even have a 3-wood because it broke on the range. The face caved, and so I literally had driver 3 irons. It was like. You probably guys have never played Gallagher's Canyon, but every hole was like I was hitting 3 iron off like every tee, so it was pretty funny. But that was way back. I was a little ways back compared to most guys. So
can you hit? Are you confident with that club though? Like
it's like my favorite club, and it's like the 790 head 3 iron head that's like down to like a 2.5 iron. And I've had the shaft for like 4 or 5 years. It has a huge nick in it. I fill it with nail polish every once in a while, so it's pretty fun.
Oh, dude. Nice.
Yeah. And
what irons are you playing?
Yeah, so I'm playing Gen 1 0311 tees. This is like my 5th set, and then I have the Elevate shafts in them.
I've seen those. Yeah, I've seen those.
How about the wedges? Wedges are you playing?
Yeah, so I'm playing the Cleveland like tour wedges or whatever. I can't remember. They're like the zip
cores.
Yeah. And they're great. I've always been a Cleveland fan. I used to use them when I was younger, and then they kind of went away from their original design, but now they're kind of back. So yeah, I really like them. So.
Yeah, I was always playing Cleveland when I was younger. I'm a Strixon guy now with the irons in my bag, and Cleveland's are they're beautiful, man. I went to Vokies. I'm playing Haywoods. Like, I don't know if you know Joshua Haywood out that way, and like he's out in BC, so I've been playing a little bit of those. So I swap out the wedges pretty consistently, but those zip cores, Mikey Bryce, he loves those. Like Mike from TXG.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about them.
Yeah.
They're clean and like they get.
I heard the shape of them is money.
The shape's unreal, and they zip more than Vokies or they're made wedges or whatever. They're great. So yeah.
I've got this. No, before we we got to talk putters, man. You know we have to.
Well, I was just gonna say, you take the putters. So
I've got one of these like OG, like not like USGA conformed Haywood wedges. Like it's like a 52. I just kind of snap it out, and I just like it's got grooves that go up, down, sideways. Oh my god. Like anything like 70 yards out, you can just rip the ball back with that thing. It's pretty amazing. But I'm a big putter guy. I roll the rock fairly well, so it's the only thing at times that keeps my game together. But what are you rolling now, Callum?
So I just actually changed the last like 3 weeks. I'm some PXG putter. I don't actually know. I think it's like called the Gunboat or something. It's a center shafted one. It's the only one that PXG makes. It's center shafted, a mallet.
It is a mallet.
Yeah.
It's a mallet. Yeah, it looks honestly like a clean version of the Spider.
Yeah,
like,
I know what it looks like.
Yeah, last year I was playing with a Spider that was center shafted. I think not like the newest one, but the PXG just feels a little bit better off the face. So I'm gonna go with that for now and see how it goes. But
nice. Okay, ball. What are you rolling?
Yeah, so I just changed balls too. Now I'm at Pro V1X. I was with a TP5 before, but just zips a little bit more and a little higher launch. So
Yeah, I flip kind of between the Pro V1X and Strixon XV. So those are kind of the two that I play, and yeah, it's hard to get away from the Pro V1X, man. It's kind of a staple golf, all right. But yeah, Bryce, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, just another really good question that we like to ask like current players. It's kind of just like a day in the life of what you're doing from week to week. I mean, I know tournament weeks are different than off weeks, obviously, but maybe just go through one of your tournament weeks and like kind of like how you prepare for tournaments and what you're going through on that week.
Yeah. So like Mondays are usually either travel day, or Sunday we can get there on the Sunday. But Mondays are usually just a chill day then. It's kind of just not a whole lot. Maybe go look and see somewhere that's neat around the area. And then Tuesday or Monday Pro-Am or whatever. But Tuesdays I usually play first off in the morning, usually at least around 7 o'clock. Try to get in 18 holes nice and early, and then work on the game for however long really it needs. I mean, some days it can be dark. Other days, I'm hitting it great and everything feels good and I'm comfortable. We'll spend only a couple hours. So Tuesday's kind of the work day. Like that's the grind day for me. And then Wednesday, I usually just wake up again, get 9 holes in usually, unless it's a really tricky golf course. I'll just play the 9 that I feel like I need a little bit more notes and whatever too. So I'll play, nice and early in the morning, and then maybe usually putt, and then kind of just go home, have lunch, and just chill for the rest of the afternoon, and then start the tournament. And usually after each round, I at least usually do something, no matter if it's I missed a couple putts, 10 footers or whatever. I'll work on my putting, or I hit a bat off the tee or whatever. Usually always putt though after each round.
How do you get all this work in when the sun's down? Because you got all these late tee times with all
That's
these
true.
winds, man.
Yeah, the late tee times you can't really do anything about it. I sometimes I have some drills that I can do for putting inside the hotel room. That's just like kind of stroke work.
Yeah.
That I do every couple days, even off season. So that's kind of all you can really do.
Do you find like when you kind of roll up to an event, whether it be Thursday or Thursday morning, are you pretty rigid? Like, do you have a certain thing that you like to roll a couple putts, get over to the range, and kind of like same thing each time, or do you like to kind of work on what needs work?
Yeah, I get there an hour and 10 minutes before every tee time, so that gives me an hour to do whatever I need. Just every time go to the range, hit however many balls, start with 58. Then I hit 50-degree 8-iron or 7-iron, 5-iron or 4-iron, and then some 3-woods, then 3-woods off tees, and then drivers. And then I usually just hit a couple 7-irons or whatever, a couple wedges, and then go chip for a little bit, maybe 15 minutes, not too long, maybe 10 minutes at the chipping green. And then, just putt until the tee time. I have a couple drills I always do before. I have a ruler just to start the ball on the line, and just a couple other things with some keys and a chalk line. And then, just leg putts, and then, just kind of go through my routine for the last 5-10 minutes and hit some putts, and then I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Are you superstitious at all? Like, do you have certain numbers you're hitting with certain clubs, like certain amount of balls or certain amount of time on them, or not too much?
No, not too much. I mean, I always get to the tee time, like the tee. I'm not a guy that gets there 10 minutes before. I'm a guy that, I'd like to get there like 2 minutes before the tee time. I don't really need any time there. That's kind of the only thing. I'm usually like the last guy to get there. It's usually, but no superstitions or anything.
There are some guys that are pretty nuts with that stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, there's some guys. I mean, I do have like a ball mark that I use every single tournament.
Yeah,
but
I just mean
it's not
kind of,
like a lucky,
Yeah,
it's a Canadian flag.
I just kind of mean like pre-round routines.
Okay.
I think some guys. Both. I mean, I've watched YouTube videos and stuff on some of the pros, and some of the guys can get pretty crazy with what they do. So I just find it interesting.
Every time I get to a golf course, it's the exact same. But nothing besides that. I mean, nothing.
No different than putting the gear on like back in the day. I remember everything was always like left foot, left arm. Like I don't know why. Like it was just like it was habitual, but then it becomes a process, right? We're all like creatures of habit.
For sure.
If I can just ask you one question, Callum, this is kind of going through my mind. Again, if you're listening to this, has been like a great chat. We're in conversation with Callum Davison, PGA Tour Player of the Year, 2021 season, getting your first start the Canadian Open this year in St. George's, which is amazing. So I'm just thinking about wedges. Like I've seen you like hit a couple wedge shots and stuff like that on your IG and whatnot. Now, you would have to have quite a bit of hand action. I'm having a tough time kind of wrapping my mind around like how you're hitting wedge shots, but it's not like, are you turning your hands over like a little bit more? Do you have a hard time like playing a higher lofted shot, or am I just kind of making something up here?
Honestly, I'm the worst at like explaining how I do things. That's why I have a golf coach, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
send over a clip.
I don't know. I just hit a shot.
Okay, got ya.
But yeah, so I naturally have like a lower ball flight. So yeah, I mean, the thing with cross-handed for me is I've always kind of de-lofted the club into impact a little bit, and I produce a lower ball flight. So everything I do, like a Pro V1X ball, higher launch, kind of everything goes to a higher launch. But at least technology these days, you can get, I have a lower ball flight. Well, I can get it to, a medium flight just because of technology. So, yeah, but no, nothing that stands out that I do differently. Just do it.
Like Bryce said, like I'm kind of like fascinated with short game with putting and stuff like that. I try to work on my wedges a lot. So I was kind of watching you hit like a low kind of pitch running shot, and I was thinking to myself like how the release would be, and it would be, I don't know. Yeah. So, maybe you know what, in the future you got to send over your coach's name. We'll get him on the pod. Have a podcast explaining.
The weirdest thing is like I used to have a chipping green in the front of my house, and that's probably partially why. But my chipping, like I don't even really work on it, and it's probably my best part of my game. Like, it's just I have touch around the greens. Just I don't know. It just is what it is. But
that has a lot to you when you said you're a field player. I mean, that's one of the most feel part of the games, right? I mean, it's kind of your chipping and pitching. So, I mean, you kind of explained it before how you're really good, really good field player. So it makes sense totally.
Yeah.
Well, Callum, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you taking some time. I know you're playing, kind of practicing, getting all your work done down there in Palm Springs. I appreciate you kind of making time to come on the podcast. This has been great. We love featuring Canadian content, and it's just cool to kind of have a chat and see. This is the best player at PGA Tour Canada, and see how you're kind of getting it done, right? So I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
All the best to you in the Waste Management, the Monday qualifier. Bryce and I will definitely be following along. I might, I might try and find some link. There's got to be something where I can kind of watch. And we wish you all the best, man. Before we let you go, can we share any of your socials if anybody wants to kind of track how you're doing this year? I know you can go to PGATourCanada.com. You'll see Callum up on the top of the leaderboard most of the times, but if you can share your Instagram handle, any Twitter, anything that you use, that'd be great, man.
Yeah, it's just Callum D4 is my Instagram. I don't have anything else. So. But, yeah,
we pretty much run the Instagram too. It's the easiest platform, I think, right? So, and again,
I feel like Twitter, you get out of hand and you say something you shouldn't.
for sure.
Upside down on you.
For sure, man. For sure. Well, I really appreciate it. Anybody who's maybe in the car listening to Apple, Spotify, podcasts, any of that kind of stuff, go over, rate, subscribe, check out Callum's link. I'm going to put it below. And if you're over on the Scris podcast, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll link it there as well. People can go check it out. And all the best, man. Really looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me on.
Hopefully we'll be able to catch you when you're at TPC, or if not, at the Canadian Open.
For sure. Yeah. You'll have to say hi. So,
all right, man.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys.
I'll come find you.
Silver Kruger on the track.
Gang, twirl, gang, 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 twirl, gang, twirl, twirl, gang, twirl, gang. Give me that driver, I let it bang. Twirl, gang, give me that whiz, I'm taking that aim. Twirl, gang, twirl, gang, twirl, twirl. If you ain't twirling, hit it, you lame. You sick of the twirling, hit